So if you've been collecting LEGO for a long time like me, you'll notice that age demographic and price raising has been a big issue in the LEGO community, and LEGO is really turning the situation into a real stinker.
I am sick of LEGO's new pricing. I've found myself buying less and less LEGO every year. This year alone, I've only bought 5 sets, with my last purchase being in March. There are many sets released this year that I would love to own, but I wouldn't dare cough up the money for.
$300 set that functions as a display piece only. Pac-Man, $269. Back to the Future, $199. Transformers, $179.99. Ghostbusters, $239.99, and the list goes on.
A second metric, the happiness of LEGO fans. Now, I would have to argue, if you were a diehard LEGO fan in the early 2000s, you're doing pretty good. You're like up here. You're up here. You're up here. You are a happy little gremlin. Look at that happy little guy right there. However, you know, like you're still doing good. You're doing really good, actually. You're doing really good. Then like there's all this stuff. Bionicle got canceled, but then it went back up because of Ninjago and stuff, and Hero Factory, and that was really cool. And then we keep going, and we keep going. Oh, and then all these prices happen, and now we're sad.
Hello everyone, it is me, Megamaniacs here, back for another video. And if you're wondering why the camera is so goofy and why this video is a bit more archaic than my usual content, that's because this was originally going to be a second channel upload for the second channel. However, I am so passionate about this topic that I felt like it needed to go to the main channel. Now, if you know me and you've been around for a while, you know I don't usually like to complain about LEGO. Yeah, there's some stuff that is annoying and is a bit goofy, but for the most part, I do make fun of people who over-complain about LEGO. I've made so many videos talking about the goofy negativity in the LEGO community and how complaints about like helmet holes or investments, Captain Rex's Y-Wing microfighter is just completely silly and not really worth complaining about and boycotting over. And I usually try to keep my complaints, when I do have them, civil, try to keep it, you know, normal. I'm going to be very mean in this video. I am going to be extremely mean in this video. I am not going to sugarcoat anything at all, because this is a absolutely terrible situation that we are facing as a LEGO community, and it's something that I don't quite know how it happened, but it did. You could think of this as a spiritual successor to my why LEGO prices are out of control video I made back in April, so you could go check that out after this video. You don't have to watch it to understand this one, but it is probably worth watching because I go into some detail on some other sets in that video. But since that, a lot has happened, and boy, I have a lot to talk about. And why LEGO is kinda not really a kid's toy anymore. It's a weird phenomenon that I have observed happening. Case in point, LEGO Star Wars 2025. We're gonna go ahead and start off with this point. LEGO Star Wars in 2025. Now, over the past month or so, we've been getting a lot of info on the 2025 LEGO Star Wars sets. Now, there has been some conflicting rumors, so we're gonna be, take some stuff with a grain of salt. However, this is the most of the list right here. And what I have noticed is the insane amount of 18+ adult type sets being released in 2025. It is pretty crazy. There is a lot of them, and I mean a lot of them. A lot of the January wave and most of the May wave are all 18+ adult type sets. And there's also like the AT-AT helmet, which is heavily rumored. Again, take that with a grain of salt. It's might happen, it might not. But even without that, we have for 18 plus sets in just January to May 2025, we have Buildable Grogu with Pam, the Acclimator MIDI scale, the Home 1 MIDI scale, heavily rumored Kylo Ren shuttle MIDI scale, although again, take that with a huge grain of salt, that might not be true. The buildable Lego Star Wars logo, which is just Jango Fett's helmet, the UCS Jango Slave 1, and buildable shopper. Oh yeah, and the AT-AT pilot helmet, which may or may not be real as well. With all that said, that is a lot. That is a lot of 18 plus more adult type sets releasing next year. And it wasn't even just next year. Looking back over the past few years, mainly from like 2022 to now, we have been getting a absolutely absurd amount of 18 plus type sets.
LEGO supposedly means play well, but over the past couple of years they've sunk deeper and deeper into primarily focusing on adults and display pieces rather than kids and play features. In 2020, LEGO replaced the Experts theme with sets labeled as 18 plus. These sets are typically large display pieces that recreate the licenses that LEGO deems as for adults. Therein lies my first issue with this theme. Take a look at the Lord of the Rings sets from 2012. We have a wide variety of price points here. Not only that, some of these clearly function as play sets while others are display pieces. Jumping forward to 2023 and 2024, we have two new Lord of the Rings sets. Both of these are labeled as 18 plus sets. They're both over $500 and they primarily focus on being display pieces.
In fact, there are so many sub-themes, I probably couldn't count them all off the top of my head. For example, we have the MIDI scale Starship Collection. We have the Helmet series, which just got resurrected from the dead. We have the Diorama series. We have the buildable Star Wars logo starting next year. And we have UCS. I'm trying to think of any more. Oh yeah, and buildable droids. We have the buildable droids like C-3PO, BD-1, R2-D2, and now buildable shopper. That is 6. Just off the top of my head here, that is 6 adult 18 plus Lego Star Wars sub-themes. Now, there are other themes, not just Star Wars, that got hit hard by this. Lego Marvel has had a issue of just spamming out buildable Groots as much as possible, and it's honestly a bit silly. They have like the buildable figures and the buildable everything basically. If it exists, they're gonna make a buildable one of it in Lego Marvel. But at least they are actually getting more play type sets, kind of, than Star Wars is nowadays, which is really odd, and I don't know how that's quite happening. Dude, for the first half of 2025, we don't even have a sheep battle pack. We have 3 rumored play sets. There is also Plo Koon Starfighter, but we don't know if that's real yet. But, like, Ahsoka's Jedi Interceptor, ARC 170, and U-Wing, that's it for the first half of 2020. That's it for the first half of 2025 in terms of playsets. And this kind of transitions into my next point, which is the major talking point of this video. LEGO's absurd pricing. Just absolutely unhinged insanity. Just the playsets we do have. For playsets that are targeted towards kids, you would expect them to be mostly on the cheaper side. Nope. Not at all. In fact, there are only 2 LEGO Star Wars sets releasing in the first half of 2025 that are rumored to be under $50. And these 2 are a 4 plus Mandalorian N1 Starfighter and Ahsoka's Jedi Interceptor, which already for around 200 pieces will be retailing at $45. Granted, it will have 3 minifigures, but $45? Bruh. And if Plo Koon Starfighter is real, cool. We have a third set under $50. But that one's also rumored to be $40. And it's not even gonna include a third minifigure. What? 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 What are we doing? We have no Microfighter. We have no Battle Pack. We have no sheet set in the first half of 2025. What are we doing? What are we doing? So, if you are not a wealthy individual who can afford all of this, and can afford these really expensive sets, you're cooked, buddy. You're cooked. LEGO isn't targeting towards you anymore. Because you just can't afford this. You just can't. You genuinely just can't. Like, there is no way you could. Even, like, kids who aren't, like, just absurdly wealthy, just, they can't. Like they actually just can't. That's kind of what battle packs were there for. Yes, one hand, it was for army building, but on the other hand, it was for people who didn't have as much money to get a nice few minifigures and a nice little build. You could get two of them, and you could put them together, and you could have a nice little battle scene. And for kids, that was fantastic, and for people who just wanted some cool minifigures, but didn't want to spend $45 for a Jedi Interceptor, then there you go. There you go. But even battle pack prices have gotten absolutely insane recently.
The most talked about example is the battle packs, which I remember being only £10. Now they don't seem worth it at all at £20 to £25. It's unfortunate, as sets are getting smaller too. I would love to see a switch around in pricing, but as we'll all have to realise, LEGO isn't getting any cheaper. Me personally, I've moved to a cheaper hobby, collecting action figures. I'll still be getting the odd LEGO set, but not as often as I used to.
LEGO keep releasing less and less playsets as time goes on, but is it time to stop? Yes. Yes it is. The lack of playsets is actually just bad. In the first half of 2025, we only have 4 playsets. 4! You are a company for kids' toys. Why the hell are you only offering 4 toys in the first half of your year? All over $45, which to some isn't affordable at all. The quality and quantity is going down on these playsets as we get more and more display sets. Builds have been using smaller pieces, therefore smaller models, sacrificing play for display. We have also seen a decreased amount of minifigures including in these sets for the price, which should just not be it. So LEGO, what the are you doing? Subscribe to Megamania.
Let's turn away from 2025, the future, and talk about the now. Because yes, even now, we are absolutely cooked as a community. So, I want to present to you the holy grail of LEGO overpriced sets. The one overpriced set to rule them all. Perhaps one of, if not the most overpriced set I have ever seen in my life. A set that when I learned the full price of, absolutely killed any hype I could possibly have for it. Introducing the 2024 Star Wars UCS Jabba's Sailbirds. Now, as a set, it's not very bad. You get a nice low sail bar. It's a little goofy at the top here. I don't know how you're supposed to do stuff with the sails on, but you know, it's there. You get 2 display stands for all your minifigures, you know. Figures are mostly good. I mean, there's some oddities, but for the most part, we got some cool stuff here. Oh, what would you expect this set to be priced at? Probably, to me, this looks like around $350 set. I think $350 is more realistic for LEGO nowadays, but here we go. $300 set. It's pretty cool. It has around 3,000 pieces. That makes sense. Try $500.
Why are we still here? Just to suffer? Every night, I can feel...
Yeah, that's no good. That's no good at all. Now, I have seen a ridiculous amount of cope. Like, a ridiculous amount of cope about this set. So I'm going to tear it apart. I'm going to tear this set apart, and I'm going to show exactly why this is not worth it. And LEGO is basically coming as close to scamming you as they possibly can without actually scamming you. Like, it's really, really bad. Now, I want to compare this to other sets you could get for the money, because $500 is not a small amount of money at all. I've seen a lot of cope and a lot of people saying that $500 is not a lot of money, and that's just like a normal amount you could spend on LEGO. Listen, not everyone is those people on Reddit, okay, buying like 12 UCS sets in one lot and saying, oh, look, a Tuesday haul, just a normal Tuesday haul, oh boy, I saw some cool sets at Target, I picked them up. It's like, dude, that's 12 UCS sets, my man. That's thousands of dollars you have in that picture, my man. That is not a Tuesday haul. But $500 is a lot of money, and if you have $500 you want to spend on LEGO, let me tell you exactly why the Sale Barge is probably the worst option you could get. The one that everyone compares it to, the Avengers Tower, has 2,000 more pieces, comes with a significantly more minifigures, like a lot more minifigures. Granted, there are quite a few reuse minifigures in the set, but if you didn't buy sets like the Gwens yet or whatever, it's probably going to be your first time getting the majority of these minifigures. The build is absolutely like one of the best builds LEGO has done, if not the best build LEGO has ever done for a LEGO Marvel set. The Leviathan is great. Overall, it is a fantastic set for the same price. Comparing it to the Sale Barge, it's not even close. The other one that people always compare it to is Rivendell, the Lord of the Rings one, based off one of the best movie franchises of all time. The LEGO Lord of the Rings Rivendell not only is based off one of the best movie franchises of all time, it also is one of the most beautiful sets LEGO has ever made, and maybe one of the best LEGO sets LEGO has ever made. As an owner of Rivendell, it is absolutely beautiful. For $500, I mean, this is a beautiful set. This is a truly magnificent set. You get a plethora of a new and exclusive LEGO Lord of the Rings minifigures, which are all updated versions from their original ones, and it also has more pieces than the Sale Barge by quite a lot, and it's kind of embarrassing when you look at it. But what if you don't have $500 and you want to start saving some money and you want to spend some other money on some other stuff? Maybe you don't want to spend all $500. Let me show you how you can save some money here. Enter Barad-dûr. Now, this is one of my personal favorite LEGO sets of all time. It is a magnificent set. It is a truly magnificent, beautiful set. Probably the best set to come out of this year. Which is $50 cheaper than the Sale Barge. Yes, you could get this absolute monster, which took me pretty much an entire day to build, with another person, by the way. You could get, you could get brown turd ship. You could get the brown turd ship, or you could save $50 and get the Eye of Sauron. You want to save even more money, over $150 more money? Daily Bugle is retiring at the end of the year. Yeah, you got a skyscraper in LEGO. You want a skyscraper with a cool taxi and a Daredevil, Punisher, the one fire lady, I don't actually know her name. But, like, you want that cool skyscraper from LEGO Marvel? There you go. And it's still available. It's not going to be available for long. I think by next month it'll probably sell out forever. But you could still buy it. And you can save $150 compared to the Sale Barge. Just silly. Maybe you're not a LEGO Marvel fan. Maybe you don't like Marvel modulars. Maybe you're just grumpy. Maybe you're British and you like you like those goofy wizard people. Well, I have some sets for you. The Hogwarts Express is around $60 cheaper, and it's a fine set. It doesn't work on actual LEGO Train Tracks, which is really cringe, but if you like Harry Potter, this is not a bad option for you. It has over 2,000 more pieces than the Sale Barge, and you you get quite a bit more. Again, this probably isn't the best option, but there you go. If you want an even better Harry Potter set and you want to save even more money, Gringotts is a fantastic option and a truly beautiful looking set. Like, seriously, this is a fantastic looking set. I could go on for probably hours just showing you sets that are better value and cheaper than the sale bars. So, why has this happened? Who is responsible for this goofy shenanigans? Like, why? Why? That's like the ultimate question. Why? Well, I'll tell you why. They just want to price gouge LEGO Star Wars. In fact, the sale parts is even worse than you might think, because it doesn't even include all the minifigures from the scene. If you want to complete the scene, you're gonna have to pay up another $80 for that overpriced skiff. LEGO is kind of doing this, and you might be wondering, why is LEGO doing stuff like the sale bars? Why are they price gouging every scene to a new extreme? Well, it's partly because LEGO is just kind of greedy and they want money, but it's also kinda your fault. Well, not the average person watching this video. I'm talking your M&Rs, your Republic Brickses, your whatnot sellers of the like. Now, I don't want to go on a rant about how these people are evil, because they're not. Okay, selling LEGO is not inherently evil, but let's chill out a minute and let me explain why I think this way. And it's mostly because LEGO sees the aftermarket. They see how rabid fans are to get this goofy glubshido, this character that normal people don't care about, but LEGO Star Wars hardcore fans, they go crazy for. Perfect example is Thrawn. LEGO put him in an extremely overpriced set. Now, why did they do this? Well, it's because they knew people were gonna buy it. Same with like Ezra and Ahsoka and all these like well-known, expensive characters, because they know that the previous versions of those characters go for hundreds of dollars on the aftermarket. So basically what LEGO is doing with these prices is they're like, hey, look at this set. You might think this gray slab is overpriced at $50, but don't worry, you should buy it at $50, because if you don't, you might risk it going away forever, retiring, or going out of stock. You gotta get there at midnight, you gotta get there day one, because it's gonna sell out, and we're not gonna make more stock to just meet demand. We're just gonna let it sell out. So you better pony up the money, or otherwise you're gonna be spending twice as much for just the Thrawn figure on the aftermarket once the set retires. You don't want to be doing that, now do ya? That's basically what they do. It's pretty clear that that's what they do, especially with stuff like Peridea, which is it's a pretty big slap in the face to fans, I'm not gonna lie. Like, comparing it to, as a person who owns Peridea, no, LEGO done screwed up with that set. That is outrageous pricing. And it's because they know that you're gonna buy it. I bought it. They know that people are gonna buy it, because when you buy stuff like this, you don't want to risk it selling out or going away or dissipating into the aftermarket where it's going to be resold for hundreds of dollars. So because of the LEGO aftermarket, it inherently just connects it so LEGO can increase their pricing, but it still seems reasonable to the average person, because at least they're not paying that insane premium on the aftermarket. This goes into the weird, toxic, like, the LEGO investor group, to where now it has spiraled to a point to where people are like constantly trying to find the best investments so they can maximize their profits, which isn't how it's supposed to be. We don't have to do this. It's really dumb when you think about it, actually. Like, I've seen some more cope about the sale bars to say, and I'm like, hey, I could just resell the lightsaber promo for like $200 and boom, I got it for $300. I got it for a good deal. No, you didn't. You're contributing to the problem. You're actually making it worse because by buying the sale bars and buying these type of sets and then reselling the promos on the aftermarket, all you're doing is showing LEGO, hey, wait a minute, we can actually get away with these prices. People are still gonna buy it, they're still gonna do it, we can get away with it, and we can actually charge even more for these sets.
Let's do a little history lesson. You know, starting in the new millennium, LEGO was like down here. We're talking bankrupt in like 2003 or something. They were not doing so hot. They were not doing so hot. And you know, eventually they started getting a little up, a little up, a little up, a little up, right? And then the Lego movie happened and there's a little spike. There's a little spike, yeah, you know, because the Lego movie gained a lot of popularity, it was a good movie, and that kept going. And they created these things called the creator expert sets, and then, which were more expensive, which led to more profits. And they kind of went up a little bit, a little more up, a little more up. Lego doesn't really post their findings, and I'm kind of just basing this off memory, so just hear me out here, right? But then, here's what Lego did. Lego created these things called 18 plus sets, and they just happened to come out right when the pandemic happened, and bam! At this point right here. And you see, if you're a business and you're looking at this, you're like, shit, we can't make Bionicle again. We gotta do this. So, logically, Lego keeps doing this, and they keep doing this, and they keep going up and up and up and up, and to the point where it's off the chalkboard. So, you can see why they would raise the prices and stuff, you know? Because logically, oh, hey, if we're making all this money, like, no one's really obviously caring about the price. Obviously, we just keep raising it and stuff. So, yeah, on one hand, from a business decision, that doesn't make a lot of sense to keep raising the profits of Lego.
I think Jack said it best in his segment in the video, to where it's like, LEGO is just going to keep raising their prices. Right now, people are pretty upset about it, and rightfully so. I mean, look at me here. I'm just ranting and raving about it. I spent an entire segment of this video tearing the sale bars down, showing just how stupid that set really is. But it's not impacting their sales at all. Realistically, their sales are not really being too impacted, because with Star Wars fans, there is a large amount of them who are just gonna buy any set, whatever the price, if it has a character that they know will go up in the aftermarket. And they might even buy multiples of them so they can resell them on the aftermarket. So, LEGO is just going to keep increasing their prices until it is genuinely unaffordable to the majority of people. More than it already is now.
As I continue my LEGO collecting journey, I've realized that sets that really shouldn't be that expensive are the ones that are raising in price, therefore putting the 10 cents per piece ratio down the toilet. As time continues, we are going to increasingly see 4+ sets and Star Wars sets be incredibly overpriced, and in the business world, that's just kind of how the cookie crumbles. There's really not a whole lot we can do about it, sadly. However, one thing that is very interesting that doesn't get talked about enough is the age demographic difference. While it seems when I was younger, all the LEGO sets kind of had a little bit of display and a little bit of playability, and that just made it an all-around great time, we're starting to see that separate into younger kids just getting the playability and older adults just getting the display, which makes the prices way higher, making it often not affordable. This means nowadays, if you want a really cool display set, you're often going to have to spend hundreds upon hundreds of dollars to get it, and sometimes you just want it for a minifigure, and you'll buy it just for that purpose. So it's really just going to show that the prices are getting pretty outrageous here with LEGO, and no matter what, we're still going to pay it, so they're just going to keep doing it.
When people make the claim that, oh, these are retro properties, that it's more likely adults will be interested in them, they're still making Zelda games. Breath of the Wild is a huge game, and it's rated everyone 10 and up. This is a kid's game. Look at Sonic, another classic gaming franchise. It manages to provide display pieces and kids' playsets. Same with Super Mario and even Dungeons & Dragons now. Why does this happen to so many licenses? Why does LEGO only make 1 or 2 sets per license, make them severely overpriced and predominantly a display piece? I mean, I know the answer is money, but it's just so hard to watch LEGO continue to do this.
And their willingness to buy products in the future goes down. I want to take myself, for instance. Over the past year, even though it's been a goated year for LEGO sets, I bought like 3 because I just can't afford it anymore. I can't justify spending all this money on Lego. And it's like, it's especially to the point where, you know, you collect enough Lego where it's like, oh, I don't need another Ninjago vehicle. I already have one. Oh, I don't need another Marvel building. I already have one. I don't need another UCS set. I already have one, etc., etc., etc. So what I'm thinking is that as these prices keep going on even more and more, even the newcomers that are just coming for the 18 plus sets, they're eventually going to kind of feel the fatigue. They're going to be like, oh, well, shoot, I just can't keep buying all these forever. There's such a finite amount of things. And for them to justify to keep buying it, the price is still going to keep going up. So I honestly think that the profits, hear me out, could go down too. Let me do a little arrow to convey. Could go down too in the near future. This is like, I don't know, like let's say 2032. 2032, it goes down. I'm calling it. Lego goes bankrupt in 2032 because they keep raising the prices to the point where a CMF line costs like $100 to get the whole thing. Or something like that. I'm actually yapping. Anyway.
Listen, to tie it all back into the theme of this video, the title of the video, what you clicked on this video for, Lego, these prices, and the abundance of 18 plus sets, it's genuinely inaccessible for children. The majority of children are not going to be able to pay up the pretty penny for these sets. Now you might be saying, the sale bar, stuff like that, that's not a kid's set. Kids, they don't need to be in that area. That's not targeted towards them. And yeah, I would agree. I mean, the sale bars isn't really targeted towards kids. There's probably some kids that'll end up getting it, but it's not really targeted towards kids. But even sets that are targeted towards kids, play sets, are becoming really overpriced. Peridia, the Skiff, you want to talk the Mandalorian bunker with the Paz Vizsla versus Moff Gideon. You want to talk outside of Star Wars, the X-Jet from the beginning of the year. What was that, like $80, $90 for 200 pieces? Ay. Huge yikes. Jeez. Jesus Christ. Like, what are you supposed to do about that? What are you supposed to do about that? Like, the majority of kids, they're just not going to be able to buy that. They're not going to be able to afford it. And the fact that we're moving more away from playsets where the first half of this year doesn't have a microfighter or a battle pack at all, like, young kids don't want to play with a Helmet Series set. They can't play with a Helmet Series set, really. It's just a helmet on a stick, on a pole. It's not, like, for collectors, it's cool. I have some helmet sets. Like, right there, there's Captain Rex's helmet. Like, I have some of them. They're cool. But we're getting so many of them now. It's like, why? Like, we need to, like, calm down a little bit here. Realistically, we should only have, like, 1 or 2 of these adult, like, themes. Probably, like, UCS. And then they could, like, maybe swap between, like, the Diorama series and the Helmet series. Personally, both of those are probably haven't had its time. And it might be time to retire those. And it's not even just contained to Star Wars anymore. It's going into every single theme. Dude, even Sonic the Hedgehog now has Helmet series sets. Or Head series. Why is Shadow the Hedgehog's head on a pole? Bruh. Like, we're kind of cooked, kind of, a little bit. I don't want to see Lego abandon its roots as a kid's toy, but I think that ship might have already sailed. So what do we do to fix this? Is there a way that we can fix this? Well, we can politely, mind you, tell Lego that, hey, we don't want this. This isn't what we want. Again, harassing is not the way to go. We don't want to be like MNR. We don't want to just harass people and scream for our 501st battle pack at the top of our lungs and get mad because we didn't respond to our emails on time. We don't want to do that. So, but telling Lego in a civil way is probably a good way to start. So if you feel passionate about this topic, and if you've watched this far in the video, make your own video on the topic. Start talking about it. Spread the word. Make a video. Share this video if you don't want to make a video or don't really have a YouTube channel or an audience. You could just share the video around. Get people talking about it, because this is the stuff we really need to talk about. And it's not all doom and gloom either. Again, Captain Rex's Y-Wing Microfighter, perfect example of a pro-consumer decision from LEGO that is a fantastic set. Letting kids get a small set with one of the most iconic clone troopers of all time is fantastic. But sadly, we are slowly drifting away from sets like that, which really does suck. The other way to combat, especially LEGO's pricing, because we can say the pricing is bad, but as long as we're buying the sets, LEGO is going to keep increasing the prices until we stop. So my suggestion is don't buy overpriced sets. Please, don't do it. Now, I know that's kind of hypocritical for me, considering I have like the X-Jet and Peridia, which, you know, are very overpriced sets, and by buying those, I 100% contributed to the problem. But I think we really need to just tell LEGO with our wallets that, like, hey, sail bards, no, never do that again. Absolutely, never ever do that again. And never do that ever again, okay? We don't ever want that to happen again. And I think that's probably the best way to go about it. I kind of didn't want to say that for the longest time, because LEGO is something that I love, and I don't want to, like, start, like, boycotting LEGO, which I don't think this is what it is. I think, realistically, if there's a set that just kind of makes you feel icky about the price, it's like, ooh, that's too much, then maybe think twice before paying up to $500 for the set. That's just my suggestion. That's what I'm gonna start doing. That's what I encourage you all to start doing as well. If you want to completely disregard that, you can. I mean, I'm not forcing you. But I'm just saying, if you don't want LEGO's pricing to keep rising, then maybe you should stop buying the overpriced sets, because that's kind of what's causing LEGO's prices to rise. Inflation's not going that crazy, let me tell you. The Star Wars tax isn't that much. Let me tell you that for sure. It's not that much. So, like, just voting with your wallet and being like, hey, a big overpriced set? Maybe I won't buy it. And it also kind of means that you all should probably stop reselling stuff like Shran and all of these characters for insane prices on the aftermarket. Because the more we do that, the more LEGO can see it and start jacking prices up even higher, just because they know that it will be even more ridiculously expensive come the new year. So, yeah, that's about it for this video. I know this one was a bit more of a downer, but please share the video. I don't even want you to subscribe or like the video or do anything like that. Share the video, get the word out, make your own videos on the topic if you want to. Spread the word, because we really don't want this to keep happening. It's terrible. We don't want this to continue. It is absolutely something that should not continue, and we need to put an end to. I don't know if we can. I don't know if it's even possible, or if LEGO is just tunnel visioned into just going down this road, but I don't think it is a road they really should go down. Thank you to BV Studios, Just Nerd Jack, Brickspiration, Flow Bricks, and Forest Elf Lego for helping out with the video and agreeing to be part of it. You all made the video so much better. Thank you all for giving your input and your opinions on how everything's gone. Go subscribe to all of them. They are all such talented creators and all deserve a lot more support. Thank you all so much for watching this video. See you all next time. Bye bye.